Thank you, Bernard. I'm so honored to be here with you all today. With 90 million customers, Nubank is the fourth largest financial institution in Brazil and the fifth largest in Latin America. But only 10 years ago, we were just a few people in a little house in Sao Paulo. Back then, the majority of Brazilian banking institutions were managing mainframes and legacy systems. But with cloud technology, Nubank was able to disrupt the market, making banking more accessible for customers who never had access before. Nubank's journey all started in this casinha, the little house that I just told you about, where Nubankers worked on products that were built to be so efficient that we could charge much more reasonable fees. How did Nubank achieve such rapid growth in only 10 years? We were born on AWS, utilizing the new region that had just opened in Sao Paulo about a year and a half before our founding. And AWS is still Nubank's preferred cloud provider. Our first product was a credit card with no annual fee and an unparalleled customer experience. But that disruption was only the beginning. Soon we had a bank account, insurance, investments, loans, an in-app marketplace. The list just keeps growing. In under 10 years, our technical environment consisted of over 40 different AWS services underlying over 1,000 Clojure microservices. We were focused on growth and we were succeeding. Then, in 2020, the Brazilian central bank approached financial institutions with a radical new idea for how to transfer money. Before 2020, transfers between accounts in different Brazilian banks were slow and expensive. They took up to a full business day to complete and cost up to $5 US. Then, to incentivize financial inclusion, Brazil's central bank proposed a new protocol called PIX. For those of us in the US, PIX might be a strange concept. It's truly instant, real-time liquidation, zero cost to customers, available 24/7, 365, and all backed by the Brazilian central bank. Meaning when someone transfers you money, it's instantly available in your account, your regular account, so that you can make a purchase or pay a bill. So we spent 5 months developing Nubank's PIX flows to meet the 10-second latency requirement dictated to us by the central bank. When it hit the market, PIX was a huge success, far outpacing the usage that Nubank had anticipated. In about a year, PIX transactions per month had exceeded the combined total of credit and debit transactions. The scale was massive, and it significantly increased load on our mobile app and our customer-facing flows. Our whole technical environment was under an unprecedented level of stress. At this point, we were in a bind. We were facing instability in multiple flows, driven by that increased PIX traffic. And we were also facing increased cost scrutiny as we transitioned as a company out of startup hypergrowth mode. How would we deal with the trade-off between cost and stability? For us, the answer was to choose both. We suspected that a lot of our exploding costs was just due to the misguided ways we were trying to achieve stability. In many cases, we were just throwing more machines, more memory, whatever, at the problem instead of actually solving the problem. Our hypothesis was that if we stabilized our systems, costs would also stabilize. With AWS, Nubank's PIX team spearheaded a multi-team effort to test that hypothesis. Of course, we initially addressed urgent architectural challenges, but we also made 3 less obvious but very impactful changes. For the first change, we noticed that some of Nubank's microservices were experiencing instability as a result of long garbage collector pauses. So in our quest for stable efficiency, we started to experiment with the Z garbage collector for those microservices that were experiencing the long stop-the-world GC pauses. Now, ZGC costs us more in RAM than the G1 garbage collector, and it really made no difference during steady-state operations. But it dramatically decreased the maximum GC pause length, which saved time and money for some of our most critical services. After garbage collection was addressed, we started to look towards our database's caching strategy. Our canonical database, Datomic, is an append-only database that's backed by Amazon DynamoDB. Datomic makes use of an in-memory cache as well as Amazon Elasticache as an external cache. As the amount of data grew for some of our most critical services, data locality became a challenge, and more transactions had to hit that external cache. At first, we tried to just add more memory to beef up the local cache, but that proved pretty inefficient. So instead, we decided to start experimenting with a new caching strategy using NVMe disks, where we could cache a lot of data and query with pretty low latency. As just one example of the great results, for one of our critical microservices, for every $1 that we invested in NVMEs, we avoided spending $3,500 across those flows. So the stable option ended up being a net cost savings. Our culture also changed, and that was a big part of Nubank's success. In order to make important decisions and good trade-offs in context, leaders at Nubank need to have basic technical understanding of their products and our infrastructure. And that movement kind of started with the PIX leadership team, but the change quickly became a standard across the company. And today, business units at Nubank are expected to have an AWS cost champion to help leadership make informed decisions that balance competing concerns. In the case of PIX, our hypothesis had been proven true. Stable systems were efficient systems. Cost stabilized and became more predictable. Meanwhile, the time we spent in high-severity incidents decreased by an order of magnitude, and the P99 on our latency SLA decreased by 92%. In fact, with a remarkable 35% efficiency ratio, we stand as one of the most efficient companies in our sector. And that transformative impact has saved our 90 million customers $8 billion in fees in 2022. Nubank's growth is fueled by our low-cost operating platform and our efficiency, which allows us to charge less and invest more in our customers. Now, for every 2 adults in Brazil, 1 is a Nubank customer. And we hope to continue closing the gap and make banking accessible to all. Thank you.